I'm here today to say that, uh, well, this morning I got my mail. I looked at my mail, read my mail, and my son's teacher called me yesterday and said there was a field trip they had planned. And with this field trip is it's called Alaska Ski Resort. Now they have a lot of relief, a lot of liability release of the indemnification agreement. This is very important. Why will the Anchor School District provide a field trip, set this field trip up for my kid to be able to attend? Along with my kid attending this field trip, they're high risk, for kids out. I'm unsure if my son ever been skiing. Excuse me. I'm unsure of that. But I can say that I'm gonna read this to you. And you can tell me what you think. This is the rental agreement. It says the rental and liability the rental and liability release agreement. Please read carefully before signing. I accept it for use as in the equipment list on the form and accept full responsibility for the care of the equipment while it is in my possession. Well, it's not in my possession. It being possession of my child. That was one. Number two, I will be responsible for the replacement at full rental value of any equipment rental from Challenge, Alaska, but not return it, but not return to the Challenge, Alaska, and or damaged beyond repair. Number three, I agree to return all rental equipment to this location by the agreement date and clean and operable condition to avoid any additional charges and to pay full price for the damage to the equipment. Okay, they're saying that the child or the parent, if any equipment has been broken by the child, that the parent had to pay for it in full. Okay, so they're worrying about these people equipment more than they're worrying about our children's lives. This is how. Number four, it say, I have received instructions on the use of the equipment and fully understand its use and functions. Well, I don't understand how to ski. I never skied before in my life. Like I said, I don't know if my son did or didn't. I never skied before in my life, and they didn't give me any instructions on how to operate this stuff. Number five, I have not misrepresented my height, my weight, age, or skill type of ability to challenge Alaska. Number six, I verified that the visual, indicator setting setting records, settings recorded in this form agree with the number appearing in the visual indicators window of the equipment listed in the form. I understand that. I understand that their inherent and other risks and dangers involving in the sport of skiing. That injuries are a common and ordinary occurrence of this sport, and I freely and voluntarily assume all those risks and any injuries, whether minor or fatal, that occurred during my participation. Well, I guess they're talking about the child now. They've been talking about the child. I understand that the ski boot binding system, which I am renting, will not be released at all times, nor under all circumstances, and may release prematurely, which may result in injury or death. They're trying to make my child, and I understand it. Okay, I can't understand that if it's a merchandise that may not release in time, that may not, be functionable, and my child was to be injured or was to die, then who would be responsible for that if I sign this? Okay. Number 8. Okay, minor or fatal that the occurrence during participation. Number 8. I understand that the ski boot bonding system which I am renting will not be released at all times. Okay, I did number 8. Number 9. I agreed to release hold homeless, indemnify, and defend any Challenge Alaska affiliated a subsidiary organization together with with all their respective shareholders, directors, officers, board members, employees, volunteers, and agents from any and all loss and damage, including any that result from the claims of property damage. Excuse me, personal injury or debt caused in any way by the manufacturer, marketing, sales, rental, selection, installation, maintenance, adjustment, use or misuse of this equipment, and for any claim based upon negligence, breach of warranty, strict liability, contract, or other legal theory. Accepting myself the full and sole responsibility for any and all such damage, injury, or debt which may result. I am aware that Challenge Alaska offers instructions and education on the inherent danger and risk of skiing and the duties imposed on skiers under the Alaska Ski Safety Act. For more information, ask any shop attendant. Number 11, I agree. Let me see. This agreement is governed by the laws in the state of Alaska. If any part of this agreement is determined to be unenforceable, all other parts shall be given full force and effect. So this is what they sent to me and want me to sign. Today is January the 18th census now at 12 o'clock a.m. I'm running this down to you because I'm confused. Should this be a type of field trip that I would, you would allow your child to go on? Okay, the next page, and I'm gonna make it short and brief. Okay, these are the release. It's called the release of indemnity applies to each and every event race on the hill training program. They say training program at Alaska Resort for 2018-2019 ski season. They say read carefully. This agreement limits your liability. They say limit your liability. If participant under the age of 18 years, participant, parent, or legal guardian must initial and sign. This is what they're telling us to initial and sign. Now, my son is in special education, and so this is the special ed program for kids who are in special ed. I'll break it down to you further. I affirm I am physically fit to participate. Now, this is for disabled children. They're saying I'm physical, able to participate. I release and discharge Alaska's Resort Management Company and Alaska Ski Resort LLC, jointly doing business as Alaska Resort, Alaska Resort. The owners, parent, affiliated, and subsidiary organizations, together with all of their respective shareholders, direct officers, employees, volunteers, and agents. The released parties from any and all claims, demands, action, and causes of actions, whether for property damage, personal injury, or debt arising from the participation in any aspect of any of the events scheduled to be held at or near Alaska Resort. They want me to sign that. Further on, they say release of liability. I hereby release Alaska, saying I don't hold them accountable. Alaska Resort Management Company and Ski Resort LLC, jointly doing business as Alaska Resort, the owners, parent, affiliated, and subsidiary organization, together with all of their respective shareholders, directors, officers, employees, volunteers, and agents. They say the release party from any of the let me see from any and all claims, liability, or causes of actions of any kind, whether knowing or unknowing, whether based on negligence or otherwise, for the property damage, personal injury, or debt arising from the related from or related to the participants participation in any and all events scheduled to be held at or near Alaska Resort. Alaska Resort. I understand and agree that I may be participating in an event which will include arrows, jumps, inverted arrows, backflips, twists, and turns. I understand that these maneuvers are inherently dangerous and risky and could result in my serious injury or death. I accept this risk and I understand the consequences of my actions. Now we're talking about special ed kids that's going to Alley, Alaska resorts for skiing and stuff like that. They also say indemnification. I hereby and agree to the same of the above that I've been reading. I'm not going to read this all over again. I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. Um, the release parties against any claim, liability, and so on. I am fully responsible for all medical expenses arising from or related to the participants' participation in any and all events at the resort. Okay. They said the covenant not to sue. Let me bring it a little closer. The covenant not to sue. I hereby covenant and agree I would never bring, authorize to be brought, or otherwise participate in any claim, suit, or cause of action of any kind, whether known or unknown, whether based on negligence or otherwise, for property damage, personal injury, or debt against LA Alaska Resort Management Company and LA Alaska Ski Resort LLC, jointly doing business as LA Alaska Resort. Their owners, parents, affiliated, subsidiary organization, together with all their respective shareholders, directors, officers, employees, volunteers, and agents. The covenantees arise from or related to the participants' participation in any and all events at or near LA Alaska Resort. I have read the assumption the risk. I have read the assumption of risk, release of liability, indemnification, and covenant not to sue. Understanding the agreement and the provisions they want me to sign. This is Alaska. This is an Alaska ski resort. Okay, I'm almost at my quota. Then they say disabled sports USA waiver and release of liability and media release agreement. That's what they're saying right here. Okay. Let me see. Furthermore, me reading this, they wanted me to fill out a volunteer driver form. I'm not volunteering to drive other people's children. I don't know what happened with their kids the day before or anything like that. And I'm not getting involved. I'm gonna stick with my children. I love the kids, but I'm gonna stick with my own. I'm gonna stick to my own kind. We're dealing with kids, with different types of, you know, um, needs. You know, we're dealing with, kids that have autism, kids that have Down syndrome, kids that are physically disabled, have behavior issues. So we're dealing with all type of kids who are in special ed, including my child. So don't get it misunderstood saying, oh, you talking about retarded kids? No, I'm talking about kids with disabilities and issues. The state of Alaska, Anchorage School District, has sent this to me so that my son could go skiing. It sounds like fun. It sounds like fun. But if my son was to get injured or die, if I sign this, then it'll be my fault. Because I said, oh, well, if my son died, I don't care if my son died because of the fact I signed these documents. I'm not going to take action because I signed these documents. That'd be the wrong thing for me to do. I'm not going to sit here and sign this. I'm not going to sign it. I don't think I should. What do you think I should do? I don't think it'll be a good idea for me to sign the waiver. I don't mind my son going to the field trip, but if this saying is not safe, then I should mind. Okay? Yeah, I'm trying to find this part where they were speaking about kids that will be kids that will be in a wheelchair. That's what I'm trying to get to. I was reading it, and when I was reading it, they were talking about they have students, you know what I mean, that may be secured with their seat belts. They have kids that might have seizures and take medications, and they're telling us parents to fill out these forms to protect their asses. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to protect your ass and not my child. No, I'm not going to do it. They say that if you volunteer, they say you have to have what they say your driver's information, insurance, and how long you had insurance. And this was something that I just got right here. I got this along with it, the soccer program that they got for the kids. And that's cute. That's real cute. But the main thing I'm getting to is why would I sign my son's rights away? Why would I sign my rights away for a resort? You had to have, and this right here, this is where they say about the people, the kids with disabilities, and tell what your disability is with your child, and so on and so forth. That's what they're saying on that page. And as I say, I would not be filling this out. They would not get this filled out. I started marking out the things that I disagree with, but I disagree with. If you disagree with part of it, you disagree with it all. I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and watch and let these people determine if my son get injured or die. I'm not going to let them determine whether or not I'll sue or not. So this is a big question. OCS said that I need to participate in everything involving my children. OCS Leslie Johnston, the caseworker in the state of Alaska, said I need to participate with everything that's going on with my children. Now, she come to visit me today since it's at 12 o'clock a.m. with my children. So she could come and do the welfare check and a house check and stuff like that. That's something I need to ask her about. What if my child get hurt? So what I'm gonna do for you, I'm gonna get that information and I'm gonna see what she say. I'm gonna see what she say. so we can have an understanding of whether or not they really want me to participate in something that may be unhealthy or may be dangerous. They say it's dangerous. You know, black folk don't ski. I don't know any that do. And I've been here since 2005. It's time for me to let y'all go. Love y'all. Y'all take care. I'm going off air if I can get off.